and he'd come to watch the striker actually from the other team, not me. And I had a good game, and off the back of that he took me, and I'd literally have 5 or 6 shits before going to the game.
It's not
if you're on 100 quid or 100 grand, you can still be mentally tired.
Yeah, literally.
Must have weighed 25 stone, and he stood up singing "You Fat Bastard." And I'd like looked at him and I've gone, "Are you winding me up?" He was a different breed. He was when he wanted to be though. If he didn't want to be though, you were playing 10 men. I can't fucking remember. I said I'm stoned. All I could smell were fucking wacky backy. All that second half, or off my tits. He's not tall enough. And my dad jumped up, booted a chair over and went, "I'm going to prove you wrong, you Scotch cunt." And I can safely say I think he did, didn't he? So I think I look back and you always think, probably this lad from Halifax from a council estate who got binned off at 15 for being too small.
Morning fellas, welcome back to the Fine and Dandy podcast.
The podcast where two fellas usually catch up, sup up and make up a few beer ratings and all that jazz. But again, we haven't done that in a while, have we? We did a charity 24-hour podcast 2 weeks ago and now we're back in the studio. We've got another brilliant guest lined up. Today we've got, Andy, take it away.
Paddy Kenny. You might know him from Sheffield United, you might know him from the football pitch, you might have swore at him on a football pitch, who knows? Paddy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, thanks for having me.
I'm going to be honest with you, Paddy. I've got an opening question that we hadn't done before, but I'm trying it out on you. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm excited for this.
After this opening question, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Dinner party. Who's your dream 3 guests? But I've had a little twist in there. They could be dead or alive, by the way. I also want to know what main course are you having. I don't want to know your starter. I don't want to know your dessert. But what main course are you having at this dream dinner?
Ooh, wow. Right, who am I going to go with? You put me on the spot here now, haven't you?
I should have probably told you about
it.
It's
done, yeah, because I need to have a think about it. Who am I going?
You've let me down dinner me last night.
Oh, you've absolutely killed me.
You got to bring Neil, haven't you?
Neil. You've got to bring Neil for a start off, yeah? Got to bring Warnock, 100%.
I thought you meant any old Neil.
No.
Yeah, not just Neil Warnock, not just Neil from down Caffrey down there.
3 Neils. One of it.
Three Neils there, you got Neil Warnock and Warnock, so there you got them
3 sound lads.
I'm trying to think who am I going to have. I'll tell you who I would have, because I love him on telly, and I played him at Ireland, Roy Keane. I'm going to go down for
lad.
Hi, man.
Well, I just like, because he says it as it is.
Straight up in here.
Straight down the
He looks
line.
gorgeous with a beard.
Yeah. And he's definitely one. Don't know if him and Neil will get on there.
No, 2 big characters there.
So, yeah, so that's why I'm throwing them 2 in, so I can just watch them.
Yeah.
And then I've got to go Robert Kozluk, a lad who I played with.
Player.
Yeah, played at Sheff United with him. Funniest man you'll ever meet.
Really?
Yeah. Really funny man.
I did think you were going to go down, obviously you were going to go down football route.
Yeah, I would do, yeah. And my meal would be chicken with spaghetti carbonara.
Okay.
But problem is, when I have that, I get shits really
I knew you
bad.
were
Smelly
down
egg.
No stranger.
Smelly egg.
Can I talk to you about carbonara?
Isn't that just chicken carbonara? Or you wanted separate chicken and
No,
carbonara?
it's chicken carbonara, but I just thought I'd imagine a
rich
little
start.
Halifax. Oh, yeah, it is.
Are you making it traditionally? Or you're not making it? Are you getting it served traditionally? Or are you going like cream and that? What's your deal?
No, it's got to
Obviously
be
they do
creamy.
it like egg and, like Italians do it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's got to be creamy though. I like me cream. Like when I have a curry, it's I'm a right fan.
I did not expect that. I thought you'd be least Vindaloo, man. Come on.
Your toilet must just think, no, not again, Paddy. Not another karma.
It's my wife more than anything. Red at night.
Right. So, we can start the podcast off.
Any more? Are you going to stitch me up any more?
No. So, 4 dinner guests. No, I'm joking. So, you were born in Halifax, as we talked when you came in. Early life of Paddy Kenny. How are you getting into football? What's your route into football?
I just think from a kid, obviously, from a council estate in Halifax, and obviously back in them days, you played on streets every day at night, till it was pitch black. You were out on field, and everyone just did the same thing. We didn't have social media and iPads and computers and phones, so you weren't in house. You were out playing, whether it were raining, snowing, whatever. And obviously, I just liked being in goal, and somehow just stuck with it. And my mum used to hate it though, because I'd rip a pair of tracksuit bottoms every other day, so she used to go mad with me. But no, that's how I got into it. And it was mad though, because at 10-year-old I was quite lucky that I didn't actually lose my right leg, because I was nicking golf balls right off a golf course in Halifax.
Classic Paddy Kenny, man.
And I jumped off a wall, and it was at like a playing field on the other side, and there was some long grass, And at bottom of when I'd landed on the floor on my knee, there were a glass bottle, but the bottom of it all broke. And my knee went into it, and I were 1/8 of an inch off having to lose my leg, basically.
Is that if you got in like a big artery or something?
It was right in my knee, right on my joint of my knee. So I've got a massive. I ended up having about 36 or 38 stitches in total, in and out. 10. So it could have been all over then, really. But
were you already into football? Like,
I was still playing.
Into like
then.
Academies and that. And
No. It were all the YTS in them, youth teams and stuff like that.
All right, yeah.
I were
just
nothing
Sunday
like
league
that. Yeah, just my Sunday team, my school team. And I love my golf and all. That's why I used to nick golf balls. And then sell them back to them.
With their logos on them.
Love your golf before. Like, I feel like every classic Gareth Bale, every footballer plays football, retires, just loves golf.
Yeah, no, I've always loved golf. Yeah, I've always played it.
Early age?
Yeah, like back then when I was 10. I never had a golf set though, because like I said, we're from a council estate, my parents couldn't afford it.
Go get your hands on one though if you had to.
Golf balls to try and pay for clubs. So, no, it was just one of them where I were into a lot of sports, to be fair.
So if youth team, so I think it's a bit different these days, isn't it? Like you get like maybe scouted, or you have to, I don't actually know because I weren't that good at football. I'm amazing, lad, but you get scouted by somebody back in day as well, back in your day.
So as I got older, started playing them for the juniors at Halifax. So quite a few of us we played for a team in Halifax called Boothtown. We all played at school together. We all played for like West Yorkshire. So we had a team. We used to win everything all the time. And then when it come to 15, 16, whatever it is when you left school, and it was time for who we're going to get through. And I think there were 8 of us that all played it together. We're all looking to get a YTS Halifax. And 7 got took on, and I was the only one that didn't get took on.
Really?
Yeah. They got us in a room. He were a bloke now. He's not with us no more. George Mullall, who's Scotch. And I'll never forget, he got us in a room and he just went to my mum and dad, I'm afraid to say, he'll never make a goalkeeper. He's not tall enough. And my dad jumped up, booted a chair over and went, I'm going to prove you wrong, you Scotch cunt. And I can safely say I think he did, didn't he? So
did them, just on that little bit there, did them lads, have they made it as football?
So one of them, like called Neil Warnock, he actually...
Lionel Messi.
He actually, I think he got a 2-year pro at Halifax. And then by the time he'd finished at Halifax, all of a sudden I'd got my chance at Bury, and then they were all out of game. And I come through and ended up, I was the one out of the 8 that ended up making it. So yeah, crazy.
And you obviously you said straight away that you've always loved being in net, because one thing that we were wondering is, it's like football. I played football from like 6 to like when it got to men's, I can't be arsed, you start drinking and stuff. But nobody wants to be in net, did they? That what thing. So everyone wants to be a striker. Our left back, so obviously it's shitty on pitch. But
our left back at same team.
Our bench. Out first half.
He got subbed off. I had a word.
But like, obviously, if you've obviously always wanted to be a keeper, then
why goalkeeping?
Yeah.
I don't know if I just like diving around and getting mucky. That's how it started about, yeah. Because I played for a team like I said, Boothtown, and back in them days, you used to have under 11s, under 12s, under 14s, under 16s. So you had like 4 age groups. But from when you went from under 11, under 12s to under 14s, there were always like there could be a couple of years between someone who you're playing against. Yeah. So you'd always have a tough season. But when most of the time we won the leagues all the time, we'd be winning. Like I used to score like 15 goals a season as well.
You did?
Yeah, because I'd come out of goal. If we were winning like 10-0, I'd come out of goal and go up front. Like
that's the classic goalkeeping.
Job done, isn't it?
Yeah, but if I'd stayed in goal, then I'd know 2 all game. Like game would finish and there'd be like mud, and I'd just have to go diving it. Just, I don't know why.
Just so you get a shower.
Yeah, my mum would go absolutely mad.
You can put it down to just pure mud and rip trackies, can't you? That's what got you there.
So I did a bit of reading on you. It said on Wikipedia you were like an engineer at the same time of being a footballer. A very different route going into football. Yeah. I don't know if it's just because it's like back in day. Because like now I feel like this might be wrong as well, but players get into an academy and then like they kind of work with the club. Like so many years and stuff, and they don't get to experience like normal job, normal life. But you've had a bit of best of both worlds there, haven't you?
Yeah. So when I left school, then obviously I got binned off. But when I look back, it was probably one of the best things that happened to me, because at 15, then I started playing open age football. Now we're getting smashed all over, and when you could get smashed all over, like. And my route then was I started off at a certain level in Halifax, and as I got older, I seemed to I played for a team called St Columbus, who were like in lower leagues of Halifax. Then I went to a team called Stump Cross, which were like the top league in Halifax. Then I went to a team called Ovin and West Riding, which were like playing at all teams around Yorkshire. So all of a sudden I was gradually going better up through as I was getting older. And then I ended up at Bradford Park Avenue, which were part-time, and through all that I were always working as well as an engineer. I would try to qualify as an engineer, which, look, I did, and then managed to become a pro about 3 weeks later.
In back of your mind during all that, are you thinking, I'm not going to fucking make it here? Or are you thinking, I was obviously thinking, something's going right, because I'd gone from being binned off to like playing at a certain level while I was 15, 16. Then 17 went to a team called Stump Cross, which is like in the best Halifax league. Then I went to Ovington West Riding, which is leagues above them. Then I went to Bradford Park Avenue and I'm getting paid. So gradually I'm thinking, so you just never know, never know. And then I was at Bradford Park Avenue and I was actually playing in a game which Neil Warnock come to. And he'd come to watch a striker actually from the other team, not me. And I had a good game. And off the back of that, he took me and signed me off back of that. I feel like that brings on nicely to a thing I really wanted to discuss, because I'm really interested in this. Maybe not, but transfers, which we'll talk a bit about later, but like, how does it work getting signed? And like, I'm assuming you've got to have an agent, but you might not have one at that point. Like, does Neil Warnock just come up to you and say, do you want to play for my team, man? Or?
No, he come up to me and he says, I'm going to sign you, but I want half your wage. No, I'm only messing. No, it was basically, I would, obviously when I signed for Bradford Park, I mean, after a few games, I was doing well, and straight away I was getting people talking. And I was the only player under contract, so they made me sign a contract so that they could demand a fee for me if anyone come in. Yeah, so I was the only player in our team to be, like I said, when you're playing non-league, you only get paid if you're playing, whereas, because I were under contract, even if I didn't play, I was getting paid. But I played anyway, so it was pointless, but it covered their backs a little bit, and basically they just went in, and it's one of them. How much for Paddy? I think they paid 10 grand for me.
Yeah.
10 grand, and it was one of them though, because what I were earning part-time, and because I qualified as an engineer, I had to take a wage cut then to sign for Bury. £100 a week wage cut. So I actually so I built my wages up through me getting qualified as an engineer and my football money. And then when I went to sign for Bury, I took a wage cut to go. Did
you have to, at that point, is that 1998?
Yeah.
Did you have to quit being an engineer then you thought?
Yeah, literally that was it. Yeah, I had to take the gamble.
I suppose there could have still been a risk at that point. They weren't going to pay off, were they?
No, obviously not. But obviously I knew I had my engineering to drop back on. And to be fair to my company at the time, a company called Dixon's of Halifax. We're a wire factory. And the boss there was mad on football, and he just said, listen, if it don't work out, I'll bring you back here. Which were nice. So I always knew I had something to fall back on.
So how old are we talking in 1998? Not to reveal your age live on air, sorry about that.
I ain't got maths to do with that.
20?
Yeah.
So you're 20, you get signed for 10k, it's quite exciting. What league were Bury in at that point?
Equivalent to Championship.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Massive move then.
Yeah. But I didn't play my first year. Dean Kiley were goalkeeper.
Right.
And it were in them days when you had 3 substitutes as well, so I were never involved. I used to travel now and again, but yeah, so it was tough that first year. We'd like try to get used to it, training every day, and realising, because it's quite demanding and pressure. But then towards the end of that first season I had at Bury, I went on loan to Whitby Town. So I had like a couple of months on loan there, which got me some games, which set me up then for when I did get in the team the season after.
When you go out on loan, have you literally got to uproot your life and just move to Whitby for a bit? Or
no, because I was still training with Bury.
Oh, right, okay.
So, and I was just playing games for Whitby, so...
You just went down a weekend, basically.
Yeah, well, we played basically, because they were in some cups, I was basically playing Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. So
it's good game time, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'd gone from playing all the time to then finding all of a sudden I was hardly playing. Come a pro, and there weren't much game time.
I bet you thought this is not what we were cracked
up
to be.
Well, you did at first, but I was still trying to get my feet under
well, that promise to you that, look, you're not getting game time at the minute, but if you put graft in, it'll come, that kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously that's what you think, don't you? It's like anything, you work hard at it and you get rewarded for it, don't you? And yet again, though, I was still lucky how I ended up getting in the first. I always look back now, I was still lucky how I got in the team at Bury, because they got relegated. And believe it or not, like now you've got goal difference.
Yeah.
If you score 10 and concede 5, your goal difference is +5 or whatever. Well, for one season only, which was that season, my first season at Bury, they changed it for goals scored. So whoever scored, if you both finish on the same points, whoever scored most goals, it matters about the goal difference.
Yeah.
And Port Vale stayed up over Bury. We had a better goal difference, but they had scored more goals.
On the technicality that they've just introduced.
So when they got relegated, they had to sell like Dean Kiley. which were the goalie, and he went to Charlton, and they sold some up. They had to sell other players to balance books, so that
puts you down to League One. That does it?
Equivalent to League One. Yeah,
equivalent to League One.
And then obviously that because he got sold, that gave me my opportunity then.
Goalkeepers are so they're like isolated from rest of the players because like you said obviously back when it were 3 subs, it's rare that they ever swap a keeper. It's always like, there might be like one main man striker, but so you can change formation and play with like 3 up top, can't you? Kind of thing, or 2. So but keeper, it's just very regimented. Well, we've got a keeper, that's it, innit? So it's a different kind of pressure to. Probably harder to break into a team. You can't just have a run in the last 10 minutes, can you? Cause
no, it's totally it's totally different, and that's why I always think goalkeepers are different breeds because you are, like I said, even when you go off training. Excuse me, we go off and they'll be like, you might be an hour and a half just training 2 or 3 while they're all training, and then you might go join in with them for half an hour and that's it. You might see them for half an hour.
Yeah, because you need different drills.
And then like you said, it can be difficult to get into a team then because if keeper's doing well. Well, you've just got to keep doing your job unless you move clubs or whatever.
Even on game day, you warm up separately as well, don't you?
Yeah. You won't even warm up with a team at all.
Does that affect how you get along like with your teammates and stuff at certain times?
I never did, no, because I would probably want at club clowns as well. So as soon as you get back in changing rooms, you're messing about, pissing about, doing whatever, eating gym, throwing weights at each. No, I'm only messing.
This is me. I'm jumping forward again, but when you were at Sheff United and stuff, and would you say that's like the pinnacle of your career?
Yeah, club-wise, yeah.
Yeah, club-wise, sorry, yeah. But like...
I obviously had an amazing 2 years at QPR as well,
true.
So it's difficult, but we're only 2 years.
And a year at Leeds, dare I say?
2 years at Leeds.
2 years at Leeds.
So I'd say, Sheff United with the club, but when you had it's a tough one to... Because I did get to Premier League with Sheff United, but I did with QPR, but it happened in the space of 2 years where Sheffield were over 8 years. That was just like a quick 2 years. Got promoted, played in PREM. See you later.
I've got loads of questions about that later. One thing I just want to bring up while we're on that class clown and stuff and that camaraderie of lads. Do footballers at that level of like Premier League and maybe Championship as well, do they get to go out on nights out ever and like obviously your diet might be quite short if you're allowed to have a drink. I don't know what's the ins and outs.
Do you know why it were different back in day? When I were at Sheffield, you could guarantee every other Tuesday, if we didn't have a game on the Tuesday, you'd get 10-15 lads out on piss.
Really?
Because you'd have Wednesday off. But there were no social media.
Yeah.
Apart from them that saw you, no one knew you
I've
were
heard
out.
that now that everyone's got a camera.
So now you can't. So imagine now, say like a team had a game on a Saturday. On Tuesday they went out, and they have Wednesday off, and they lost on Saturday. They're going to get fucking destroyed, aren't they? Whereas back in day, no one knew we were out, so we could go out, and we might have lost sometimes, but
no one knows.
No one knew because they were different.
We're like celebrity status, like you get like nice little VIP beating club and that. We just on dance floor doing worm.
No, you would get looked after, especially in Sheffield. Yeah, we used to always get looked after in Sheffield. But I've probably done worm a few times as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't a very good
on
worm
VIP team.
Wouldn't have been a very
Best of both worlds.
So we're sorry to jump ahead there. We were at Bury there. Where did you go after Bury and what happened at Bury, like to get you transferred and what have you?
Yeah, so I'd had like 3 seasons then, more or less playing. Apart from when I got sent off, I don't think I really got injured. Apart from my league debut, I got knocked out after 5 minutes, cold out. Yeah, and in them days, it used to be sponge on head and carry on. Yeah. Can't do that no more. Yeah, I can't do that no more. I look like Elephant Man. I got these stud marks all down my face. But carried on.
After getting not clean out.
What?
You carried on?
Cold out. Yeah. But that's how we were in them days. Obviously, legally and things like that, they're not allowed, are they now? But yeah, so I had 3 amazing years then, which set me up for the rest of my career, learning my trade. More or less played for 3 seasons solid, apart from when I got suspended, when I got sent off 2 weeks on trot, believe it or not. It must be like a record, because back in the day, like now you get sent off, you miss next game, maybe next 3 games, whatever it is. But back in the day, you used to get, if I got sent off, but your ban wouldn't start for 2 weeks, so you could still play it week after.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
And I got sent off again.
No one can break that record now, can they?
So I got sent off like 2 weeks on trot, so I like missed 5 games, and that's probably, didn't miss many games apart from that. But then I knew Warnock were interested because my manager had told me at the time that because the manager who were manager when Warnock left, Andy Precy were called. He took over from Warnock, and he'd obviously been in touch with Warnock and just said, "Listen, I think they're coming in for you for a bid." And one day I just went into training and they went, you need to get you sent off. Sheffield put a bid in and I had to drive from Bury to Sheffield.
I always hear that, like literally, you go to work. I think it was Peter Crouch I was listening to. You go to work at I think he was playing at Tottenham. You get a phone call. You have to phone your missus like, right, we're moving to Stoke. Yeah. Oh, we're moving to Sheffield.
So how much input do you get in that? Is it ultimately down to that? Does it depend on what kind of player you are?
Well, he told me that. So at the same time, I got this call from my agent. Phone about that big, by the way.
Hello? Yeah, that's nice.
And he literally just said they've had a bid accepted, which were, I forget what, we're about £30,000. It were a tax bill that they owed Bury. Sheffield basically said, give us Paddy and we'll pay your tax bill because they were skint and they had to pay it. So
really?
And then so my agent said, yeah, you need to get your sent off to Bury at Sheffield. I'll meet you there. And while we were on the way, he's just basically said, right, I've offered you a 3-year contract. This is wages. You sign him when you get there. We're like, okay. And that's what it were.
Unbelievable. So would you have an agent at Bury?
Yeah.
Is it Bury or Bury?
I don't know. I always say that.
I thought it was
Bury. I think it's from where you're from, innit?
Yeah,
you say Bury.
Yeah. I'm going to say Bury.
I used to always say Bury, and then so when it's Bury.
I'm going to go Bury.
You pull it off.
Did you have an agent there then?
Yeah.
So when did he or she come into play? And like, how do you choose one? Like, there must be a million
just because other players, one of the lads.
Oh, right.
Listens, I've got so and so. He wants to represent you.
Sheff United.
He's looked after me for X amount of years. He'll look after you, which is normally bullshit, by the way.
Yeah.
Look after number one. You don't get many good agents.
Well, you know when I'm loving to talk about transfers. I'm dead interested in this. Do they not communicate with you? So, for example, who do you support, by the way?
As a kid, it was Man U, believe it or not.
So,
but I don't support anyone now. I'm Sheffield.
Yeah.
But not like, I don't support like a Man U. I'm a football fan, but my team I like to go watch is Sheffield.
You know what, I'm really glad you said there. Right, I'm gonna openly say it on podcast. From Barnsley, I support Leeds.
Yeah.
But like, I don't mind Man U. Like, I like football. Like, I feel like football and supporting is very gatekeeper. Like,
yeah, but Man U fans, they live in Barnsley and everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
But Manchester.
Literally, like, you should just be allowed to like football teams, shouldn't
yeah.
you? I'm glad you said that. For a professional footballer, you heard it here.
Put your mind at rest now, can't
Yeah.
you? For sporting, everyone's right.
I've got so much off my chest. Right, I support Leeds. So you supported Man U back in the day, but like you weren't that bothered in there. But do you get to say, "Oh, I'd really like to play for Stoke"? Can my agent maybe work a deal with Stoke, or is it like they kind of got to be?
It's more the other way around, isn't it? If the club wants you.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If you're an high-end player and his agent might go to a club that's not as big and go, "Oh, he could be available."
Yeah.
And force a move that way.
Is there like big? Cause obviously, you get to see a lot of now. There's a lot of these documentaries like the Tottenham, the Arsenal, City one.
There was Sheff United one.
Yeah.
That I've got a lot. I want to say that about that as well.
See, we're getting to see a lot more behind the scenes with social media. A lot more interactive with players, and the big teams have all got these massive facilities. How does it differ when you're moving from a Bury to a Sheff United back in the day? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you got a call, you went to work and said, right, you go in here, that's fine, whatever, new team. Have you like gone anywhere where it's just been like they're in the same league, but it's complete different setup where they run operationally, everything?
Well, for instance, I were at Bury and we literally trained on a park field.
Really?
Yeah, and we literally had to flick dog shit with cones away before we trained, stuff like that. And we used to get changed at the ground, and we'd have to, like as a goalie, we used to get lifts down. But no one would take us back because we were covered in shit going back. Oh. So we used to have to run back through a graveyard to get back. That was the quickest way back. And you'd have training kit that it were all in a basket, and if you were the last one in, you got the shit that were left. But then I went to Sheff U, and the first day I got there, all my training kits folded up nice and neat, their own training ground. I went out and trained. I come back in, there were another kit there waiting for me. My towel were there. I all of a sudden had someone cleaning my boots, which I didn't at Bury. We used to at one point at Bury, we had to take his own training kit home and wash it at home.
That's just like playing some.
No, we're not.
My dad did it. But then all of a sudden I went to Sheffield, and then, like I said, you've got 2 lots of kit every day. You've got towel. You've got someone cleaning your boots.
That's probably. It's got to have a difference. I always think like young players like that. Gordon, who's just gone to Newcastle, forced to move, from Everton's boyhood club, and I saw a photo with filling his Lambo up at petrol station. It's like I get the impression that they just get it all straight away. There's none of this, I had to clean my own boots, I couldn't even get a lift back. Do you know what I mean?
It is different now.
It's changed, hasn't it?
It's changed massively. I think if you talk to your older pros, as them that come through the YTSs, they used to have to like clean changing rooms. They beat them up and mess. When I say beat them up, I don't mean like have banter with them. But I don't think they can do that no more. You can't even talk.
Like
to
toughen them up a little bit.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Well, that was Dyche frustrating when he like get these snoods off, get these shin pads on.
Neil Lennon did that to us at Bolton. He come in at Bolton and he literally says, "Get rid of them hats, get rid of them snoods, get rid of them gloves."
Hard as nails.
Yeah. Lads were shivering like.
Did it make a boost in your performance?
We did. We started winning then. We were mad.
It's
mad little things that make a difference, isn't it? But it's all about mentality, I suppose, isn't it?
So from Sheff United and Bury, what's the? Do you get like a chef at Sheff United that cooks all your food and makes sure your nutrition's spot on and like? Oh, I like the behind the scenes stuff and like the physios that probably work with you and like the gym stuff.
We didn't. My first year we didn't, because we did have our own training ground. But after my first year, we moved to a proper. They built like an academy, and that's where we were proper. We had breakfast made in the morning. Yeah. Dinner made, stuff like that. So you were proper looked after that way, which is quite crazy actually. But
it's mental,
but you need it, don't you? They want you to eat right. So
how busy is it being a footballer as well? Like, I imagine, again, I mentioned Peter Crouch so much, but I listened to his pod the other day, and he says like all his life were like meticulously planned out by somebody at the club and that. Like,
it is. It's quite controlled. You're quite controlled. Your life's quite controlled because, just say for instance, you could play. You play on a Saturday, you were having a Sunday off, and you could arrange something to with your family. Oh, we'll take kids somewhere. We're going to go to Alton Towers. You'll get beat 3 or 4-0 on Saturday. Manager might go, right, you're in tomorrow. You're not fucking. There's none of this. Oh, I'm going to Alton Towers. I can't. No, you're in. Simple as.
Sorry, I booked that off.
Yeah. But it's like people going about, like I said, like mentally as a footballer's best life in the world, should never be tired or like that. And no, I don't know how they can say they're fatigued and but they don't understand sometimes. It's just like I always remember back into my Leeds career. On a Tuesday. The Tuesday we played Brighton away, so we travelled on Monday.
All the way down to
Brighton on the Tuesday. Got home at like silly o'clock Wednesday morning. Wednesday you're out of game because you can't get straight to sleep. So Wednesday's your day off, but you're knackered and you've got family life to still live. Thursday you get up and train. This were us. Friday then we were travelling to Yeovil. Played Yeovil on Saturday. Didn't get until silly o'clock on Saturday night, and then you have Sunday off. You're knackered all day, and then that's like a week gone where you've like not been at home and you've been travelling and you're in. And don't get me wrong, you're in hotels, you're looked after.
Yeah,
but it's mentally and draining.
It's not what it's cracked up to be, is it?
Yeah. Obviously, it's the best job in the world. It's
dream,
an amazing job, but it's not just as easy as everyone thinks it is.
And like I think you made a good point. Everyone says like, "Wow, why is he moaning? He's on like 100 grand a week or something." But it's not. It's not.
If you're on 100 quid or 100 grand, you can still be mentally tired.
Yeah, literally. It's not like.
Which will make you underperform.
Yeah, true. Does every team just get Wednesday off? Because you said a few
no,
times.
everyone were different. So that would under Warnock. That was what he liked. You have Sunday, Monday off.
Yeah. Warnock Wednesdays. Absolutely loved it, didn't he?
Sorry, Sunday, Wednesdays.
Warnock Wednesdays. Did you like port? Did you like a drink of port? Or
that was before. I think he tried that before with some at Bury before I went. With port and eggs or something.
Yeah,
like
something mad.
Something stupid before a game. Literally, lads had a shot.
So speaking of Neil, we'll get on to Neil.
Which
now.
Neil are we on about? One from down
second
fifth.
one, yeah. Obviously, you had a good relationship, and obviously, I liked you. I think he signed you 5 times all in for different teams. Why do you think you got on so well? Or did you get on so well?
Oh no, yeah. Oh, listen, we fought like cat and dog.
Oh really?
Yeah. If he blamed me for a goal, then I didn't think I would have blamed him. I were having to go back. Don't you worry about that. And listen, he was one of them. We'd argue like cat and dog on a Saturday, and he'd ring me up on Sunday and go, "We're all right, aren't we?" And I'd go, "Of course we are, Gaffer." Going Monday morning, it's forgotten about. Where I've had managers before where you have an argument with them, they won't speak to you for a week or two.
Yeah.
And I did ask him actually when I signed for Leeds. Why do you keep signing me? When
Again?
he just went. His exact words were, "I know what I'm going to get from you. I might get a bit of shit off pitch, but I know what I'm going to get from it. I'll get a 7.5 every week, and that's all I want."
That's what you want, though, isn't it?
I don't want a 9 and then a 4. He
yeah.
says, "I know what I'm going to get majority of the time, so and I know you'll sort of dressing room out as well. He always said, I know you'll sort of dress around, take no shit, keep people in line. Only one person went out of line, that me, no.
Were you one of those players in the dressing room what like upheld club standards and that? Obviously I had a laugh in that, but like...
Yeah, there was time and a place, isn't there?
Yeah.
Listen, when you've got to get down to do your work, training, playing, I was totally focused. But in between, I was always pissing about.
Yeah.
Never not cross the line, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Unless someone pissed me off, then I won't back down to it.
Would you say that Neil's best manager you've had?
Yeah, I'd say, man management is unbelievable. He's such a clever man. How he deals with his players.
That video, innit, he does rounds on Twitter every few months and going in the dressing room. It's right, got like right emotional music, and you'd see him not watched it, like he's just a sound bloke, innit?
He's brilliant. It's like when he were at QPR with him. We start season, we were pissing games for fun. We were like top of league, cruising, and we didn't train one Monday unless we had a game on the Tuesday. So literally our week would be play Saturday, we'd win. We'd have Sunday, Monday off, train Tuesday, have Wednesday off, train Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday again. Because I were living half in Sheffield, half in London, he'd say to me if I'd had a clean sheet, there's no point you coming down on Tuesday, I'll see you Thursday.
Really?
So I'd literally play on a Saturday, turn back up, and I'd turn up on fucking Thursday, and all I'd get is, it must be Thursday at Golden Boys fucking coming.
So you got on well.
But because the way he was and the way he treated you, you'd run through a brick wall for him. Do you know what I mean?
Respected him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. That I want. What would you say? Have you got any like mad Neil Warnock stories? I'm not going on to talk about Neil Warnock, but like mad Neil Warnock stories. Anything that springs to mind where you're like, maybe like that dressing room thing Dan we're talking about, or anything like.
There's loads. I tell some of my dinners. Have you ever heard the Sudocrem one?
Give me the Sudocrem story.
Oh, have you never heard the Sudocrem story? Oh no. So whenever, not obviously when we got beat, he'd lose his shit in dressing room, and he'd be fucking raging. And he'd be effing and blinding. But while he was doing this, he'd start getting undressed. Right?
Jesus, Neil.
So we'd have to put some money. No. so he'd start getting undressed. Before you know it, he'd be full on bollock naked shouting at us.
You're joking?
Cubes everywhere. Honestly, it was disgusting. We didn't know where to look. You wouldn't know where to look. You'd be like, little acorn sticking out. Cubes everywhere.
Neil got a big dick, though.
And he'd be still shouting at us. Schlong, big schlong gang. So he'd be still shouting at us, and then he'd pick his towel up and he'd go in check showers. While he could hear shower going, he'd be, you fucking bastards, you fucking gonna go home at weekend and I've got a face press and you're gonna go home to your families and have a nice day off tomorrow. And he'd be shouting, still going on like this, then he'd come out,
shoulders in air, and
then he'd start drying himself, still saying same. You'd be like, oh fuck, come on. The next thing, he'd get totally dry. He'd cock his leg up on his bench, go in his wash bag, get Sudocrem on his finger and just slide it up crack of his eye. And then at the end of that, he'd go, right, go and have a cool down, lads. He'd be like that, scarred for life.
That is honestly not where I thought that story was going to go at all.
There you go. I bet you thought Sudocrem were he was putting it on me.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, needed it.
Just normally though, not your ass. Anything else like that? Because that was the best story I've ever heard in my life.
The 10-pin bowling one.
Please.
Come on, you've never. Oh, come on, you need to do your homework.
I've purposely not looked at that because I wanted
10-pin bowling, right? He used to take us to Scarborough, so he took us to Scarborough, and we've gone 10-pin bowling. There's like 25 with staff and players. Injured lads didn't come, so he's gone right. £20 a man, winner takes all. 500 quid. Fucking lads like that, get in there, come on. He's gone out to his car. He's come back in with a bag. He's got his own bowling ball. He's got his own shoes. He's got a weight. Do you like they wear weights, don't they? To like even the weight. He's got a weight. He's got his own cloth. He went strike after strike after strike. We were like, what the fuck? Turned out, he used to work in a bowling alley when he was younger.
Oh,
anyway, next thing he's got 500 quid. Silly bastard. See news lot coming dinner.
I imagine him one of those shirts with like his name on back. All Sheff United players with like pins and they get knocked off.
Yeah, so fleeced fucking 500 quid.
I bet every team we went to that sit straight to Scarborough, wasn't it?
Exactly. New players.
Yeah.
Fuck me, right. So, that was amazing.
What makes... Sorry, I'll jump
Go
in
on.
from about managers. What makes a bad manager then? 'Cause you said I've had a few bad managers.
Do you need to name any
What's
names?
typical characteristics?
No, I will name names. I'm not bothered, me.
Neil Warnock.
I'll tell you how it is. No, just say for instance, right, I'm going to say Matt Hughes, and bear in mind I loved him as a kid because I'm a Man U fan. It weren't. Not that I'm not saying he's a bad manager, but what I didn't like about him.
Where did he manage you at?
QPR.
Right, okay.
After Warnock got sacked. Little things like you'd walk down the corridor in the morning, you'd go morning gaffer and he'd ignore you. Oh. Right, which I think is rude. And,
it is.
Yeah. And the other one, it was just one thing that I absolutely hate. We used to wear suits for home games, tracksuits for away games, because you're in a hotel, you're on coach, all that lot. You're not in your own comforts, if you know what I mean, as an home. So all of a sudden he come in and he went, right, suits for away games, which meant the night before we could travel in as tracksuits. We had to bring our suits with us. You got to remember your shoes, cufflinks, tie, belt, suit, shirt, everything. You had to make sure you had everything with you. So it was just another little thing that you had to like piss about, making sure you had sorted before an away game. And what he'd make us do is, we'd have, say like on a Saturday, then we're playing on a Saturday, we'd have a meeting at say 12:30 before we set off to the ground. So we'd all be in a room and he'd be doing all this preparation for the game, in a suit, sweating his fucking bollocks off. Right? Then you fucking go to the game. Lads couldn't get out of the suits quick enough.
Yeah.
So then you play a game. After the game, we had to put the suits back on to get on the coach. And once we got on the coach, you could put your tracksuit on. So then you got on the coach, it was fucking carnage. There were people throwing fucking clothes everywhere. Where's my shoes? Where's my cufflink? It was just some little thing, just
What's
little
the point?
things like that. There were no need.
Do you think it's like a control thing? Like,
Yeah,
I'll make you do that.
Possibly, yeah.
Not bad, man.
But I didn't like that. You
No,
know what I mean?
that'd
Then
annoy
like
me.
him and Brian Robson, Brian Robson at Sheff United. Matt Hughes was bad, but Ryan Robson got something about him that I didn't like was he never named his team till an hour and a half before kick-off. Whereas under Warnock, we were used to knowing team on a Thursday, possibly on a Thursday, definitely by a Friday. So you could prepare lads a little bit differently. No, just like I said with Brian Robson, you get to the game, and you might have some lads might not have been in team for 3 or 4 weeks, so they might not have brought the family to. No point coming, I'm not playing. And then at 1:30, he names his team, and they're like, "Shit, I'm in fucking team." They're like ringing the family, trying to get them to the game at last minute.
Do you bring friends and family to games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get a certain amount of tickets per game, kind of thing, or?
Yeah, normally that were another one with Warnock. I've got to tell you this one with tickets. So when Warnock were manager at Sheffield, we used to get every Thursday or Friday. Chris Morgan would get the tickets, who were club captain.
Chris Morgan?
Yeah, and we'd get 60 tickets to share amongst ourselves. They were brilliant Sheffield though, because if we used them up, apart from Sheffield Wednesday derbies, because it'd be obviously a sellout. If we need another 10 tickets, they'd give us 10.
Sorry, right.
Yeah, they were always good like that. But so he got 60 tickets. Anyway, when he got sacked, Warnock, Brian Robson come in. Anyway, first game he had in charge, he gave Morgs tickets. Well, there were 80 tickets in this envelope, so Morgs said, we've got more tickets this season. So he rung woman up front ground and just said, are you giving us more tickets this year? We've got 80, haven't we now, instead of 60? She went, what are you on about? I've always give you 80. It turned out he took 20 out. His gardener, his paper boy, fucking car wash bloke down road, fucking milkman.
He sounds like a great bloke.
Oh, character.
That's unbelievable.
So this Sheff United documentary, I've not seen it fully, but I've seen loads of clips. How did that come about? And that's like way ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was obviously now they're doing them quite regularly, but that were I can't remember one before that.
For me, that's all.
But people always say to me, what Warnock like? Did he put it on? Did he put it all the show in front of cameras? And he was actually probably more chilled out. He were a lot, but he fucking, if you watch the videos, he's still going fucking mad.
What's that? I heard him say something like he probably hated injured players being around or something. You're like, you don't look well. Go on, I don't want to see you.
Oh no, if you were injured, I'll never forget. I did my. So obviously I'd gone to Sheffield my first season, and my first season we finished third in league. We lost in playoff final to Wolves. We got to FA Cup semi-final, lost to Arsenal. I don't know if you remember that Seaman save. Don't know if you remember that one. And then we lost to Liverpool over 2 legs in extra time. So we had an unbelievable season. And then start the season after, I've got injured, and I was out for 4 months. I'd done my knee ligaments and cartilage at Crystal Palace, and until I were like a week off being fit again, he hardly spoke to me because he would concentrate on players that were available. He didn't need. Hardly spoke to me.
Missed him, didn't you?
Walked past me in the corridor. Morning, gaffer.
Do you still play it?
Fuck, salt you.
I thought you were in Bury.
No.
Sorry, Bury.
No, so that's what we were like. But listen, he's got other players to look after. I didn't get that in a way.
What is it like? This is the only time me and Dan stood on a professional football pitch. I think it's Liam Gallagher where we stood on.
No, mine were when Barnsley won Chelsea in FA Cup.
Yes, let me just pick this name up.
So, like, what is it like being surrounded by, like, loads of people? Every time you kick ball, they're always going, "You shit bastard." I just like, shut up, man. I've heard it
I just
before.
get you fat bastard. No, listen, that's part of your job, innit? That's what you're there for, to entertain and perform in front of your own fans and obviously try and win games. And no, it's the best feeling ever, especially that when you stood in the tunnel back to come out, especially an
I
old
imagine
game,
that's unbelievable.
and it's your own music to come out and you can hear all crowd, gooses, nipples are like that, everything.
Bigger than Neil Warnock's cock.
Oh, miles bigger, like torpedoes. No, that is the best feeling ever.
I can imagine.
But I would always find though with nerves. I used to have my nerves before a game at home.
Yeah.
So before I'd have like 6 shits in the morning before a game. I would get up at
Carbonara from night before.
I'd get up 9 o'clock in the morning before a game, and I couldn't have really any. I might have a slice of toast now and again.
Yeah.
Couldn't eat before a game, and I'd literally have 5 or 6 shits before going to the game. Right, and then I get to the game, and then I was fine. Like as I got rid of all my nerves, I get there, and you won't think I was playing a game because I'd be just so relaxing.
Have you ever been touching cloth on pitch?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, not on the pitch, but just before I was just about to go out at half time, and I thought, oh fuck, shit. I've known players to piss on pitch.
Really?
Go down on one knee and just pull the shorts to one side, have a piss on pitch.
So to go for injury, innit? Just
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
with fans though, I suppose keeper, you're very much, again, you're different to other football players. You are in that same spot, so if obviously if
You
it
stood
was-
there,
was
right?
shit,
Right.
yeah.
If you said,
And if your team's not attacking, it's learned at pitch. You know what I mean? You again, it's just you and fans. It just I don't know. Would that be easy to get into someone's head? Do you get a lot of jip or?
I used to get so much shit, but they never used to get into my head. That's the thing.
Do you like wind them up back?
So one instance I'll never forget when we played against Sheffield Wednesday, and they were singing "You Fat Bastard," and obviously I'm having a look round. I used to dance to them and everything, and doing all that shit and like rub my belly. And this one time I've looked, and this bloke in the Sheffield Wednesday shirt, their cop end, must have weighed 25 stone, and he stood up singing "You Fat Bastard." And I've like looked at him and I've gone, "Are you winding me up? Cheeky bastard!" fucking. He was fucking massive. Yeah.
Have you ever had any like negative like fan interactions? And then obviously on the flip side of that, what's most positive fan interaction?
I'll tell you one good one. We played Rotherham away, their old ground, not the ground they've got now. And their cop were like, it's like a bit of a slope on their old pitch. And I've got up there at second half, and they're all singing "You Fat Bastard" and running up to it. We were on Sky on a Friday night, this game. And I've got my towel, and I've put my towel and my drink aside at post. And as I've done it, the stand, probably where that is there, that bar bit, we're like there. That was stand, and they're all stood in them days, right? A bit old-fashioned their ground. And I hears this, "Kenny, you fat cunt, do you want a pork pie?" So I looked up, there was a bloke stood there. You know them pack of 6 pork pies, the mini ones?
Yeah, Morrison's in that.
He's got 6. I went, yeah, I'll have one, yeah. So I've walked over, picked pork pie up, and they're loving me now.
Yeah,
I'm having banter.
you're involved.
I'm stood there eating pork pie. Well, game's just about to start. And he's gone. I went, I'm going to have to fucking get back in goal. He went, "Do you want another?" I went, go on then. I picked another one up, and I walked into the goal. We're playing live on Sky. Obviously, there's no... In them days, there weren't as many cameras. I'd have got spotted now, I bet, if it were nowadays.
Oh, God.
And I'm eating this fucking pork pie while second half's playing. And I'm eating this pork pie.
What, you're on the pitch as well?
Yeah, eating a pork pie. We're only a mini one, so...
Melton Mowbray.
I must have a quiche.
Just one like that. Anyway, pastry gives me heartburn.
I thought you
Well,
were
10
shit.
minutes
laced it.
Hey, 10 minutes later, I'm leant over. Me fucking... Can't fucking breathe hardly. I've had to shout on Dennis with physio. I'm shouting over to Dennis. Dennis, have you got any Rennies? And he's like, "You want some Rennies? Why?" Don't fucking ask. So yeah, that was a good one with Rotherham fans.
That's
That was a good
hilarious.
interaction.
Going down like doing this and that. Why's Paddy Kenny come off? Chris Kamara, he's had a pot pie.
Exactly. He actually has had 2. Fat bastard. No wonder they were singing "You Fat Bastard."
Fuck me, right. So, sorry, I feel like we lost track there. So where are we? Sheff United. Oh, when did you get Ireland? Also, why can you play for Ireland?
Well, you're not going to believe this story, right? We once went to Cheltenham Racers, And because I spent more than 10 hours in Guinness tent, I got an island cap on my hat. No, basically.
If that's true, I'm a leprechaun.
Yeah. No, my dad's Irish and my mum's parents are Irish. So, and I was brought up Irish as a kid. I was brought up to actually hate England and love Ireland and Republic of Ireland football, rugby union.
Did you get your Ireland call up at Sheff United?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Sheff United.
So a lad called Ned Kelly, well, he got David Kelly, we called him Ned Kelly. He was a striker for Sheff United, but he ended up being a coach when I was there. And he played for Ireland, and it was him who actually got my name. Obviously, they didn't realise I could play for Ireland, and he got me a cap. But it was funny because my first cap for Ireland was actually against Jamaica at Charlton.
What a mixture.
Yeah, I know. So we were obviously playing some games over here. We were playing Jamaica. Anyway, in first half, I was where all Irish fans were. And then in second half, at top, which is the away end at Charlton, that's where all the Jamaican fans went. It were rammed full of Jamaicans. Well, anyway, after the game, we won 1-0 anyway. After the game, I did an interview and they were like, "How at game, your debut were brilliant. Did you enjoy it?" And I went, "I can't fucking remember." I said, "I'm stoned. All I could smell were fucking wacky backy all at second half or off my tits." I'm glad I didn't get drug tested after that.
You're asking him for pop behind, weren't you?
What? You know, you said cap there. Is it a cap? What's the crack with caps?
No, so I think back in day, before I used to get involved, they used to get a cap every game, but I think it became
you get a photo with you, don't you? I think, and then
I think it become too much. So then, when I started doing it, you got one every season. So that calendar year, every calendar year, and you get a cap with a number on for how many caps you played.
Is it a different feeling on pitch representing your country versus club?
Yeah, it's different because obviously you're not the players you're playing with. You're just thrown together for 10 days.
Literally.
Yeah.
How are you meant to have like a proper club
it's
chemistry
hard,
and
isn't
stuff?
it? Yeah. So you're thrown together. You meet up on a Sunday or a Monday. You play on the Saturday. You play on the Wednesday, and then you go back. And so it is a little bit different. It's a proud moment, obviously, playing for your country. It's the best feeling ever, and something I'll never forget. And obviously, I'm proud of. But no, yeah, it's definitely different.
How many caps did you get? 7?
7, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to sing national anthem for Ireland and that? And also, what is it?
Do you know what? I don't even know it now.
You were too stoned, man.
Hey, they were too stoned off your tits.
No soldier.
I couldn't sing it to you now, but I knew it back in them days. I learned it.
Yeah, you got just in case TV gets you.
Can't be miming, can you?
Let's do that.
Every game now, I can't picture you with a spliff in your hand or a pot pie.
Fuck, he's enjoying himself, isn't
What's I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to try and get some of the questions that I written down in for once, because all I've talked about is Neil Warnock's ass. Best footballer you've played with and then played against?
With, probably, if you look at, there's 2 players for different reasons. One's club, one's country. Country, I've got to say Roy Keane, because of what I played with him a bit, and obviously what he achieved, and he was my sort of player, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, rough and ready, and
I loved how he were, and I like how he's still now on the TV. Club wise, a lad called Adel Tarat. I played with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the mad few seasons, didn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable, frightening. But he
about 2012ish.
Yeah, 2010. I think I signed in 2010 to 2012.
Yeah.
He was a different breed. He was when he wanted to be though. If he didn't want to be though, you were playing with 10 men.
Yeah, it couldn't be arsed in that.
He sometimes didn't turn him for training.
Another question I had down here. Fines. How bad are the fines? Like, I'm talking yellow card. Are you personally getting a fine?
Yeah, but you only get yellow card. The club gets fined about £17.
Is that it?
Some clubs make you pay it, some don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you get sent off and if it's for a tackle, you won't get fined. But if you get sent off for
like malicious
misconduct or out like that, swearing at referee or whatever you want, punching someone, if you get fined, you've got to pay it.
Obviously, from fans' point of view, we can't see it too well, but you had the pitch view. How much shit does ref get? And like, are they allowed to phone and be like, "Ref, you're actually fucking shy," or is it you got to be a bit respectful?
Well, we were in Spain a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if you remember the referee, Mark Alza. He's retired now.
No.
He lives out there, and we met up with him, and we were reminiscing, because back in the day when he were refereeing, we used to have all banter with him. Like, you'd say, "Fuck off, ref," and he'd go, don't be abusing my game. Fucking you've been shit yourself. And he'd have a bit of banter back with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas I can't see that nowadays.
No.
You can't.
I do see him get like shouted at and that sometimes.
No,
from players,
it's bad sometimes when you see it, but when you're on pitch, you don't notice sometimes. I realise how bad it can be.
Yeah.
Because you're in that moment.
Can you be a manager? This is like a proper novice question, but I play football myself, but obviously not in front of a crowd. I always think like where managers are stood, how can you fucking hear them if they're shouting all orders out?
You can't hear no one
Passing notes and
sometimes
that.
on pitch.
They're relaying stuff to you by all linesmen and ball boys and stuff.
Sometimes you can't hear out, or if you've done something wrong, it's selective hearing, isn't it? You're like, I can hear him, but I'm not fucking it now. Fucking hell, shit.
What is your career highlight? If you can narrow it down to
there's
one.
probably a couple of things.
Yeah.
Probably playing for my country.
Yeah.
2 promotions to Premier League.
Mental.
Yeah, so them were 2 amazing years. I think I look back and you always think, oh, this lad from Halifax, from a council estate, who got binned off at 15 for being too small, who nearly lost his bloody leg, who all of a sudden next thing played in the Premier League, got promoted twice, played for his country. Like, there's got to be proud moments.
Yeah,
there.
literally.
All of them.
It's,
Not one particular one.
What's the quality jump like from champ to
I was
Prem?
just thinking that if like the media, everything, I bet it just goes up.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Notch,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's the scrutiny you're under is totally 10 times worse.
Yeah,
And then the level on the pitch is ridiculous.
I bet.
The difference is around the box.
Right.
That 30 yards from goal is like so much quicker.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Have you conceded against Ronaldo?
No, but he actually missed an open goal against me. You know?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, where were you?
Watching it.
Why?
One of them where they've come from angle, I'm stood like squared it to him, he's literally stood his own, and he wobbled and hit it over the bar from like 6 yards out. Shit, I put him off. It's a shit career, he's rubbish.
You're in his head.
Who is your like greatest of all time when it comes to footballers?
As I was growing up, who I loved were Peter Schmeichel. He were my hero, Peter Schmeichel. And Packy Bonner, who ended up then being my coach. He were an Ireland goalkeeper, Celtic. But he ended up being my coach at Ireland, so it was like another thing.
That's a good moment, getting to meet him. So I'll move on football. I'm cautious of your time. Paddy Kenny, what's happening now? What are you doing in life? What are you up to? You talked about some speeches after dinners.
Yeah, so I've got a lot going off, to be fair. I've got a transport company, so I work doing that, which has been good for me, because when I first retired, I had probably 6 or 7 months of my life where I weren't in a good place, drinking too much.
A bit lost.
Didn't know what to do. I didn't want to. When I first retired, I went goalkeeping coaching at Northampton, and my friend were manager, Robert Page, who's now Wales manager, and he got sacked, and we all got sacked, and I thought, I can't be arsed with this shit. Yeah. So then I thought, I don't want to be in football, but I didn't know what to do, and then for 7 months, all I did were literally get pissed. Yeah. And I weren't in a good headspace. Lucky enough, a friend of mine got me involved with cars, doing this car transporting, and eventually, after 7 months working for him, I ended up setting up on my own, it literally keeps my mind occupied all the time.
Are you happy to? I get the impression that you're sort of happy to be away from football now.
I am. Right? I love weekends to myself now.
Yeah.
Just to be. I've got. I mean, my wife do things every other weekend. We haven't got my kids. When I've got my kids, then so it's nice now. I can spend more time with my kids.
Does it feel like you're more in charge of your own life now?
Yeah, you've got to. I've got control of it, Anna. Where I didn't have control of. You don't have control of it when you're playing football. And yeah, so I've got that transport company. I do my after dinner speaking. I do a little bit of one-to-one coaching. I don't do it at a minute because of time of year, but I'm going to get back into it. I've recently married. Well, just over 6 months, and we've got a baby on the way. So that's
congratulations.
Yeah, so that's really busy time now, and I'm enjoying life.
Sounds like you're having a ball, man.
Yeah, got to, haven't you?
Yeah.
Still.
Just that transport business. Sorry, I didn't have a clue you did that actually.
Yeah.
What's it called?
PK Transport.
PK Transport.
Nice and easy, isn't it?
What are you doing?
Just cars, moving cars around the country.
Nice.
So like someone buys a new car, the certain spec car you want from round here might be in London or it might be up in Scotland.
You don't want them miles on.
You don't want 200 or 300 miles on a brand new car, do you? So it gets transported.
Shoot Paddy Kenny a quick
There you go. There you go.
Nice one. Thank you very much for coming on, Paddy.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for your time.
I might have to get you on again because I've got a lot of questions I didn't cover. I was obsessed with.
What more about Neil Warnock?
I was obsessed with that Sudacrim story. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, fellas.
See you in a bit.